If you have a Be Collected planner, I want to show you a little bit about how to use it, especially in relationship to what you're learning in the course. When you get into your planner, the first page you're going to find is all about goal reflection and setting those goals. So this is all coming from week 4 content, where you'll learn a couple of strategies to come up with, really what's most important for you right now, and how to set some great goals, break those down into milestones, and break those down into action steps. So week 4 we'll dive into that for you, but you can find that on the very first page in your planner. And if we zoom in a little bit here, let me just show you. Here's where you can do some brainstorming on what's most important for you. You can also then kind of summarize that and write your goal down here. And again, there's instruction on exactly how to do this in week 4. And week 4 will also help you look at creating those milestones and action steps. So in your planner, at the beginning of every month is a spot for you to jot those things down. And so you can carry this forward from month to month for the goals that are spanning more than 1 month. And you can go ahead and update it when it's time to update your goal. So it's got a nice spot for you here to keep track of that. It's always with you in that planner. And I would recommend, once you've got some of those action steps laid out, you can then take a look at your month and say, all right, when am I going to do those? You can look to say, oh, this is a really busy week. There's no way I'm going to have time to do it then. But this week looks a little bit slower. And so I'm going to pencil that in and really kind of plan out my month. What's the progress I have to make towards my goal? What are those action steps I have to do to make that progress, to stay on the trajectory that we talk about in week 4? And map it out and see how your month looks. And that way, as the conductor, you can say, cool, I'm going to be on track. Or, hey, I'm going to have to rearrange some priorities here, or maybe lengthen out how long I'm going to work on this goal, because it's just something that I, when I look at it as a conductor, this is kind of where it is, and you get to change those things. So that's kind of the overall month view for the goal. And then when you look at the week view into that month, you've got a couple of things. You've got some space to write about, this milestone focus for you for the week, so that you've got that on your mind. You can pencil in those action steps, right? So I'm taking the stuff that I said I was going to do this week of July 8th, and now I'm transferring it into that particular week, and I'm putting some time blocks on my calendar, time blocks from week 3. And I've got those, because I've got the whole month in front of me, I can sketch out on this month page view over here, and I can then transfer that into my weeks as I go, and I can have that all sketched out for the month. I also want to just kind of point out to you here that you've got your quadrants, your personal and your work quadrants, at the bottom of each page. So this is what I love about carrying my planner with me and having this as a hard copy, because, in this example, I've got, finished project in quadrant 1 for my work to do. And so, I'm filling in my time blocks on that week also for my work, in addition to my personal quadrants. But when I have this with me, if I'm in a meeting or I'm talking to a direct report, or I'm on the phone and someone wants to know, hey, can we work on it, in 3 weeks? Can you have it done in 3 weeks? I can flip into my planner and say, like, all right, yep, I can put that right as, a quadrant 1 activity 3 weeks from now. Or maybe I can have it as quadrant 2 next week and the following week, and then move it into quadrant 1. I can pencil it into a time block already when I know I've got a good chunk of time to work on it. And I can plan that all out. I don't have to keep it in my head. I don't have to worry about when am I going to get it done. I don't have to make sure, like, all right, 3 weeks from now, make sure that's on your to-do list. It's already there when I flip to that week. So, the way I use this, I sit down with this planner on Sunday nights. That's how I like to do it. And I transfer my to-do quadrants, anything that maybe didn't get done or needs to shift quadrants, from the prior week to the next week. I look to see what was already waiting for me on that page for next week. and I pencil out all of my time blocks. I don't know if this is a waste of time or not, but it works for me. I've got the time blocks on my Google Calendar so that anyone can see those. And so I transfer those into my planner for that week and see if I've got extra time, or maybe I do have a little bit more time than I thought to work on some of those quadrant 2 tasks. And I get my whole week sketched out. It doesn't mean that it's not going to change. I'm not going to cross off or erase anything, but at least I've got a good starting spot. And I know as the conductor, okay, looking good for this week, or I've got to make some shifts somewhere. So that's how I use it. And at the end of every month, you also have this reflection page. It's a great opportunity to do some celebrations. If you're like me, you tend to just move on from that celebration. Okay, yeah, I did it, without really taking the time to say, hey, I'm actually really proud of some things that happened. I had some habits changed in my ability to be a conductor this month, and I'm really excited about that. And it has a spot for you to reflect on your goal. Is it on track? Are there some adjustments that you need to make? And if you need to write a next one, it's got the format from week 4 right in there to help you write the next one and move into the next month. You've also got some note pages at the back. But this is a design that works really well for me. It's a way to take these conductor strategies that we are talking about and systematize them, put them in a routine in our lives. It's a way to kind of prompt that in you. I'll tell you, if I open up my planner and there's not a whole lot filled out for that particular week, and I'm halfway through it, man, I can tell that I haven't really been practicing my conductor strategies. I'm getting some feedback right there of like, oh boy, you are not doing what works to be a conductor. What are you going to do different? So it's a helpful tool for me. And even when I'm not using it, it's still a helpful tool for feedback for me of, hey, this isn't going well. What are you going to do? So I love it. I hope you find it useful as well. And as always, we'd appreciate any feedback you have as you're working through it. Thanks so much.